Hello, everyone, and welcome. My name is Mary, and I'll be taking you through a Pilates class today. So, again, as always, make sure that you have the appropriate room around you. Take a look around, make sure you can stand, reach out around you. Nothing's going to interfere with your practice today. Also, if you are practicing for the first time, make sure you've consulted a medical professional to ensure that you are safely advised to start a new program such as Pilates. For those of you who are regular practitioners, again, listen to your body the whole time that you are taking the class today. And of course, always have some fun. So it's a little rainy today in Costa Rica, overcast clouds, but it's still absolutely beautiful and warm. So right now, back in Canada, it should be freezing. So I am very happy to be here right now. Let's see. Other than that, I think we're good to start. So if you just want to find yourself in a comfortable position, seated, cross-legged, however you want to be, we're just going to start off with some breathing exercises. So go ahead and just give a little relax on the shoulders and maybe a little rock side to side if you happen to be seated like me. And then just take a nice deep breath in through the nose and let it go. Let's do that a couple times. Big inhale. Let it go. One more time. Nice big inhale. Fill the lungs. Let it go. Let's just start with some head nods. So bring the chin to your chest. Then take an inhale and look up to the sky. And exhale, bring the chin to the chest. And then look up to the sky. We'll do that one more time. A big nod of the chin, just seeing how relaxed our shoulders can be as we're moving our head up and down. And then bring your head to stack on your shoulders. We're just going to look left and right. So go ahead and look to the left side. Then bring it back through the center and then turn to the right. And again, what we're doing here is just noticing our range of motion, just noticing how our shoulders feel, how much we could turn our head to one side versus the other. And again, we're not judging it. We're not too worried about the range of motion. We're just noticing how we feel in this range. One more time, each side. And then bring it back to the center, over to the right, and bring it back to the center. Let's inhale those hands all the way up. And let's take that right hand down to the floor, leaning over and just tipping in a C shape. And then inhaling up and exhaling down the other way. Big inhale, rise. Exhale, float it down. One more time, big inhale, rise. And then float it down. Let's go ahead and bring both of those hands up. Just release those wrists as you're coming down, out to the sides. And once you've gotten close to the floor, change the directions of the circles with your hands and bring them all the way back up. Relax the shoulders, just bring those hands all the way up. Change the directions of the wrist roll, starting to warm up that wrist joint. Circle down. And then when you get close to the floor, switch it around. Good. One more time, we'll do that. So just change the direction in the air. Slowly come down to the sides. Circle, circle, circle. Once you get near the ground, change the direction and come back up again. Sitting up nice and tall. And then bringing it all the way up and then just letting those hands come down. We're going to take it to all fours. So go ahead and come in with the knees underneath the hips, toes tucked if you want that plantar stretch. If you feel more comfortable with the feet down, go ahead and do that. Spread those fingertips nice and wide. And we're just going to do a couple of cat cows here. But instead of just popping up our spine, we're going to start with a roll. So what I want you to do is take a tuck of the tailbone, then start to rise up vertebrae by vertebrae, come in between the shoulder blades, tuck the chin in, and look at your belly. Now that we've done that, you're going to start to unfurl from the head. So we're going to start to take our chin, bring it up,
Then drop between the shoulder blades, drop the belly, and then send the tailbone to the sky. Let's start with the tailbone. Tucking the tailbone underneath, then slowly pushing up through the center of the spine, rounding out the shoulders,
and then tucking the chin, then leading with the chin, lifting the head up.
my shoulders are still rounded. Now I'm slowly taking it down between the shoulder blades. Tailbone comes up. Let's try that a little bit faster. Tuck the tailbone, roll up through the center spine, shoulders,
Chin tucks.
lift the chin, drop through the shoulders, round the belly, and then the tailbone. Two more times. Inhale, starting from the tailbone to the chin, and then the chin back through the shoulders to the tailbone. Last time, rolling up.
And again, don't worry about perfection. I'm not looking for perfection. I'm looking for awareness.
As you go through this, as opposed to just doing simple movements, we're trying to isolate.
So now that we've got a couple of those rolls in, still knees underneath your hips, fingertips still spread nice and wide, shoulders away from the ears, and we're looking down at our mat. Let's just try a couple of little balance ones here. We're going to take our front leg out, our toes on the ground. We're going to take our back hand out, and our fingertips are on the ground. What I need you to do is just lift up your limbs at the same time. So lift up and tap down. So we've got a nice strong core brace. We're not arching our back anymore. We're not doing any cat-cow movement. We're just lifting up and tapping down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Two more times, lift and lower. Last time. Let's do a double pulse at the top. So pulse, pulse, lower. Pulse, pulse, lower. If you're feeling good today, pulse, pulse, and barely touch the floor. Lift, lift, slowly lower. Control. Option, tap down if you need to. Option, omit the double pulse at the top. Two more times. Pulse, pulse, lower. Last time, pulse, pulse, and bring hand and knee underneath the body. Let's take those knees out nice and wide. Big toes might touch. Sit your butt towards your heels and then just walk forward. Lengthen your spine, drop your chest, chin to the mat, maybe your forehead, whatever works for you. And take a couple of nice deep breaths here. We're going to do everything on the other side. So if and when you're ready to join me, we did a lot of work on that front wrist. So the front wrist is going to take a back seat to the work, and the back wrist is going to be stabilizing you. So go ahead and come back into all fours. Again, fingertips spread nice and wide, knees underneath the hips, tucking the toe for that plantar stretch, shoulders away from the ear, core engaged, and we're ready to slide our back foot out. It's still on the floor, and then slide your front foot out, or front hand out. And now that we've got this, we're just going to lift it up. So nothing changes in the core. It's brace, no swaying of the back. Just inhale to lift and exhale to lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale to lower. I'm looking neutrally down at my mat. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Two more times. Inhaling and exhaling. It's not about speed. It's not about height. It's about control. All right, let's double the pulse. So pulse, pulse, slow down. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. If you want, you can float the toe and the finger just above the ground. Pulse, pulse, lower. Pulse, pulse, lower. We'll do two more of these. Pulse, pulse, lower. Last one, pulse, pulse, lower, and we're good. All right, let's go ahead and make our way up to standing. So you've got your hands on the floor, and we're just going to roll up through the spine. So we're going to start just by letting your head hang. Give me a shake of those shoulders. If you need something like a yoga block or some books in front of you so that you're not hanging right down to the floor, that's fine. Other options to keep the knees really bent. You can always get to the floor depending on how much you bend your knees. If you have your legs a little bit more straightened, that's fine too. But we're going to start off just by starting to lift up and let those fingertips hang. And once those fingertips are hanging, you're going to soften your knees a little bit and start to roll up through the bottom of the spine. Those hands are heavy. They are just hanging there. Roll up vertebrae by vertebrae. And then come up through the shoulder blades, slowly bringing the shoulders up. And then the head stacks. Like we did before, except we're standing now. Take the chin to touch. Roll down between the shoulders. The hands are just weight. Slowly roll down. Soft knee bend. Rolling down, just letting the shoulders roll forward, coming down to the floor until we can touch. We'll do this 2 more times. So hands are just hanging, squeezing through the feet, through the legs, squeezing the butt, rolling up vertebrae by vertebrae, shoulders, and then stacking the head. Tuck the chin, roll down, hands just hang, vertebrae by vertebrae. The slower you go, the more effective the movement is. Just seeing how to control that spine. In our lives, we want to go fast. We want to move at the quick pace. Let's try and feel this movement. Notice what your feet are doing as you start to come up. Notice how your hamstrings start to work, how your butt starts to work. Then you roll through here. Your shoulder blades have to pull back together, and then you use your neck muscles to stack the head. We're going to dive down one more time. So chin to chest. Let the shoulders roll forward. Let the hands hang. Slowly roll down through the spine. You're still squeezing your bum. You're pressing your feet into the floor. You're releasing the glutes. You're stretching those hamstrings and you're tapping the floor. We're going to come all the way back up nice and slow, and I'll meet you at the top. Take your time, and it's even better if you are still on your way up by the time I get there. Slowly coming to standing. And we should be at the top. All right, so what I'd like you to do is take your back foot and place it 3/4 down the mat. You're going to put your hands on your quad and you're just going to step back with the other one. So it's pretty much a supported lunge here. Shoulders are back and you've got your core braced. Lean on into that back foot so that your front toe is just barely on the floor. You've got some support here and you're pulling your shoulders back. So we're just going to lift up the toe and then we're going to flex the heel down. Point the toe and flex down. Now, if today is not your day for balance, you may use a chair. You may use the wall beside you, whatever you would like. We're just starting to find some core brace with a little flex and point. We'll do that 2 more times. Point, flex, tap. 1 more time and tap. If you are good, do the double. Point, point, tap. Point, point, tap. Now keep those shoulders away from the ears. Point, point, tap, and point, point, tap. You can stay with point, point, tap. Or if you feel like you've got balance and you want to do pulses with me, stay at the top and pulse, 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 pulse. If you are good with the pulse and you are not holding on to something, you're on your leg and you feel like your back and your core can balance you, see if you can take your front hand out to the side. And then, if you're able to, remove the other hand out to the side. You've got 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. That back butt cheek should be nice and lit. Your core is stabilizing you through the movement. Your butt is working to lift that front leg, and your back is engaged when you lean forward in that hinge. Let's do everything on the other side. So, your side on, it's going to be the front leg. Step it 3/4 of the way up the mat. Okay? You're going to take your hands, you're going to interlace your fingers, place them on whatever you want, grab that wall. If your wall is only on one side and you need to switch, you know what to do. All right, so we've got our foot down. We are placing our hands here. We're pressing off of that leg to pull our shoulders back, okay? So we have our shoulders back. We've got pressure here. We've got our toe lifted. And we're just going to take off for the first one. Point and tap. Point and tap. So I'm looking down about maybe 2-3 feet in front of me. And I'm just lifting and lowering. Now, instead of popping up and straightening this front leg, I'm trying to keep it exactly where it is as I just lift and use my butt cheek of the back leg to lift up. Brace the core for stability. And as you lean forward, your lower back has to engage because you're no longer standing vertically. Okay? 2 more times, just lifting and tapping. 1 more. Let's double it up. So up, up, tap. Up, up, tap. Up, up, tap. Inhale, inhale, exhale. 2 more. Now again, you can stay with this. You can take a break, or you can join me for just pulses at the top. Pulse, 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 pulse. All right, more core engagement required for this one. If you would like to remove your backhand and send it out to the side, we're still pulsing. And if you feel like you can give yourself enough support with the core muscles to take that other hand out and continue to pulse, pulse, pulse. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Have a release and a shake out. All right. Now that we've done that, we're going to come into a nice wide stance here. Toes are turned out. Your knees, center of your knee tracks towards the second and third toe. So it doesn't matter how wide you go or how narrow you go. You want to make sure that the center of your knee aligns with the center of your foot. All right, so now that we are here in this nice wide stance, hands just in the creases of your hips, your shoulders back and down. What I want you to do is take a look at your knees as you come down into the squat, supported with your hands here, and push those knees out towards those toes. Okay? And then we're just going to come back up again. You can always have your hands on your hips, drop your bum back, and let those knees come forward. And then come up. 2 more times. Exhale. And inhale. Exhale. And inhale. Let's double. Down, down, up, down, down, up. 2 more. Down, down, up, down, down, up. If you'd like a little bit more. Down, down, up. Push. Down, down, up. Down, down, up. Down, down, up. Okay. When we go down, we come down. And I want you to pop up on that right heel. So up, pop up. Down, left heel, pop up. Down, pop up, pull the hands up. Down, pop up. Down, pop up. Down, pop up. Double. Down, down, right. Down, down, left. Down, down, right. Down, down, left. 1 more time, each side. And then we're going to do both heels at the same time. Down, down, pop up. Down, down, pop up, squeeze. Down, down, pop. Down, down, pop. 2 more. Drop, drop, height. Drop, drop, height. Just pulse down, pulse, 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 pulse. All right, my hands are coming up. So they're stacked on top of one another. If I need to, here's where I go. If you're good and you want to try to lift up those heels and pulse, lift up the heels now and pulse. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Heels down, stand up, release those hands, walk it in, give it a little shake. All right, so inner thighs got some work, quads got some work, Hamstrings got work on the other ones when we kicked out. Give it a little shake, shake here. All right, a little bit more balancing work. Again, if you have your handy wall close to you and you need it, or a chair that's high, has a high back, you can hold on to that. And we're just going to roll our shoulders back. Soften your feet hip distance apart. Put the weight into the right foot and just lift the left heel. Not leaning, just staying straight and lifting that heel up. Okay, shoulders back and down, hands on your hips, floating around if you need to. Now that we've got this position, I need you to just lift up your knee just a little bit. We're going to take it out to the side. We're going to take it stepping back, and then we're going to bring it back to tap. Okay, so lift up, take it to the side, step back, step in. One more time. Up, side, tap, and in. If you're good with this one, take it up, side, tap, tap, up, side, tap, tap. If you're good, omit the 2 taps. Take it back and in. Up, side, back, and in. Big circles here. Up. Ooh, almost one more time. All right, we're going to change the direction. So go ahead, tap, tap, circle side, and then tap, tap, circle side. If you're good to go, take the balance and send it out to the side. Keep the height this way, no leaning. We're just taking it around in the hip. We've got 2 more. Send it back, side, in. Last time, back, side, and in. All right, toe taps. We're just taking it out and in. This is a soft right knee. Tap and tap, tap and tap, tap and tap. 4 and 3, 2, 1, 2 taps. Tap, tap, in, tap, tap, in. 2 more. Tap, tap, in, tap, tap, in. It stays out and taps. Tap, 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 tap. All right, so you should be feeling that pressure in glute min, glute med. We're trying to keep that tap going. And if you can, find the balance and just float it in the air. Float, float, float. You're almost there. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh. All right, standing core. Hip work big time. All right, give it a little shake out. Do what you need to do. Whew. Grab some water if you need some water. And then come back in, feet underneath the hips. On the other side now. So instead of leaning that way, all you're doing is putting a slight bend in that left and lifting the right hip. Lifting the right heel. Okay, so hands on the hips or shake it out if you need to. Hold on to a trusty solid surface. And we're going to start with the pattern. Okay, so what I want you to do is just lift it up, take it out to the side, step back, tap, and then tap. Okay, so we're just looking for range of motion now. So the first one I didn't do was not too high. I'm a little bit higher here. And then I'm tapping back and tapping in. So lift up, side, tap, tap. One more with the taps. You can always continue with those taps. Okay. Or you can float it. Open, side, out, and back. Front, side, out, and back. Big circles. Finding something that isn't moving that you can stare at and just feel that hip rotating in the socket. You're using your butt like the first move we did when we started. We have our hip openers like the squat, and then we're adding in the hip flexor to bring the knee up. All right, we're going to change the direction. So let's start with the knee elevated. Tap, tap, around. Tap, tap, side and around. Two more with the taps. Stay with the taps if you're comfortable with that. If you want to do the float with me, we're just floating through it. Down and up, back and down and up. Try and stay upright through the core. Brace that core. Keep yourself in a big lateral line, not leaning, not tipping. One more time around and tap it down. Whew. All right, so we're just going to take it out to the side. So step right, tap, and bring it in. Okay, soft right, left knee, tap, and bring it in. Tap, 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 tap. Okay, so this leg is working because it's just a light little tap of my big toe. And if you're good to go, we'll do the double tap. So tap, tap, in, tap, tap, in. You're trying not to bounce. Okay? We're just moving that toe and giving a little tap, tap. Two more, tap, tap, and tap, tap. We're just going to stay with the taps. Tap, 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 tap. This is where we're going to start to want to lean over to that left side. Pull yourself up. Brace, soften that left knee, and give me that toe tap on the right. If you have anything left to give me and you feel like you can balance, let's do this little tap, balancing in the air. Lift, 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 lift. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Oh, oh, oh. All right. Hips getting stronger, legs getting stronger. To stay upright and not fall over to the left or the right, you need your core. All right. So now that we've shaken that out again, let's go ahead and come side on and make your way down by rolling the shoulders back, tucking the chin, letting those hands hang, rolling forward through the shoulders, coming down by softening the knees, getting down to the floor. And once you're there, seeing if you can go ahead and take a step back. Step back, and it's usually a position called downward facing dog. Just pedal out those feet. And if this isn't working for you today for any reason at all, just come down onto knees and I'll meet you there in one moment. For those of us who are finding some delight in pedaling out those ankles, getting into the calf stretch, do that a couple times, and then lower those knees down to the mat. All right, so we are now in this back to this tabletop position here. Okay. And I would recommend that those who have wrist issues come down onto the forearms. Okay. So we are in a position where we are either under our wrists, elbows, shoulders, or elbows and shoulders. Okay. So whichever way you choose to go, I want you to take your front leg and send it back. We're going to pivot on the back knee just so that the foot comes out to the side, and then we can lift up. Okay? It's going to look very similar if you're down on the floor. We start off in this position. It's going to be a little bit more challenging if you're on your forearms because you won't have as much rotational room. You're just going to kick out that front leg. You're going to pivot out and you're going to swivel out this way. Okay, more challenging from the forearms. You've got a lot more room to open up through your hips and your side body when you have your shoulders able to move. Okay, so choose the one that you want. And we're just going to float between these two. So we're in this position where we've got our back foot kicked out, and we're just going to lift up. And we're going to take it and dive through. Inhale, lifting up. And exhale, dive it through. Two more times, lifting up. Feeling your core as you swivel through. Inhale up. And swivel through. We're going to add on. Inhale up. If you can, lift that top leg. Place it down and swivel through. Inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. Two more times. Up, up, down, down. One more time. Up, up, down, down. If you want the challenge, come up, up, hold the foot up and just swivel down. Inhale, up, and exhale, down. Two more times. Work the side body, your butt again. Down. Last one, all the way up and down, up. Bring that foot down, turn it down, and pull in. All right, so we're going to do everything on the other side. I'm just going to stay in the same direction, but if you want to turn the other way so you can see, but then you will be able to see the other side of me working. So fingertips spread nice and wide, shoulders back and down. If you need that extra support, coming down here, back leg is going to be, or the other leg that you didn't use is going to be put out. You're kickstanding, and then you're just rotating up and then rotating down. Okay, so do this a couple times and see how it feels. If you decide that you want to come up onto your hand, so replace your elbow with your hand, you're going to notice that you have slightly bigger range of motion here. Now that we've done this a few times, let's inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale, sweep through. Inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. There's a lot of things going on here, especially in the shoulders, stabilizing. Then you're using your butt to lift that leg up. You're using your side obliques and your core to swivel on through. And we're going to do it a couple more times. So just make sure you continue to breathe as you revolve through. We'll do it one more time. Inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. If you want the challenge of just keeping the foot floated in the air, you go ahead and keep it up and you just float through. And then you come back up nice and slow. Exhale, rotate through, gripping with fingers if you're using your hand, pressing into the forearm if you've got your elbow down, swiveling through. Exhale, inhale, come back up. Let's do two more. Exhale, sweep it through. Inhale, our last one. Squeeze through that core. Come back up. Put the foot down, place the hand down, and set yourself back up into a seated posture. And working those shoulders. All right, let's get into the core portion, the rectus abdominis. So we're going to start off just by rolling through the spine yet again. So you've got your knees bent. You've got your heels close to your body, and I'm holding onto my knees. Okay? I'm sitting up nice and tall here. We're just going to roll through the spine. So tuck your chin, roll through the spine, and then rolling back up. And sit tall. Rolling out, lengthening the arms, and then pulling with the arms to sit back up to straight. One more time, rolling back, coming back to a tall seated position. If you're good, go ahead and walk yourself down your legs. Try to keep your feet on the floor. There's the challenge. And once you've gotten all the way down, tap your head down. Then start with the chin tuck. Lift your shoulders off. Hold on to the backs of your legs and see if you can keep your feet on the floor and grab yourself all the way back up till you can sit up nice and tall. Okay? We'll do that a few times. And again, it's not about speed. Roll down, walk yourself out nice and slow. Put the head down, then tuck the chin, elevate the shoulders, look between your knees, grab onto your legs, try and keep your feet planted, and walk yourself all the way up. One more time, walking down, roll it out, tap it down, and then tuck the chin. If this is where you are today, just working on trying to keep your feet on the floor and sit up, go ahead and stay with that. If you're good, you can walk yourself down. You can take your hands over your head. You can bring them back. You can walk yourself up. You can now release your arms and see if you can just roll down without use of your hands and then float above your head. Then you can come and curl yourself up and you can walk yourself back up here. For the hardest version of this, you're going to not use your hands at all. And you're just going to inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. Take those hands above your head. Inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. One more. Inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. All right, so we have our hands either underneath our knees, sitting up nice and tall, and we've got a butt shake side to side so we're even on both. And we're just going to lift up our front foot, holding it at parallel to the ceiling or to the floor, whichever way you want to think about it. And then we're going to do the same thing with the other side. Okay, so we're just holding on to the backs of the legs, sitting up nice and tall here. Once we've gotten this position, we're going to release the front hand and keep the leg where it is. So take it out to the side and bring it in. Go with the back one, out to the side and bring it in. Stay up nice and straight with the spine and just release one leg and then release the other and bring it back in. Two more times. Reach and hold on and then reach and hold on. You know what's going to happen. Let's go. Both hands. Reach, sit up tall, and come back in. Give a break, give a break. Reach, and then give yourself a break. Two more. Reach, brace that core, holding, use hip flexors. Back one more time. Reach, and one foot down, followed by the other. All right, can we put those two things together? I think we can. So here's what's going to happen. We are going to walk ourselves back. We are going to reach our hands over our head. We are going to go ahead and tuck our chin, reach for our feet, walk ourselves back up. We've got behind our knees. We're going to lift up. We're going to tap it down, and then we're going to go again. Now, if you are a little bit more able to float with the hands above the head that we did earlier, then we'll try it this way. So let's go ahead and give it a shot. Slowly roll down, either walking yourself down, bringing the hands above your head. Go ahead and curl yourself up, lift up, then bring those knees up, bring the feet down, roll down, up and over with the hands, roll up, lift up, and lift those knees. So we can come and roll down, reach above, roll up, and lift. One more time, bring it down, roll through the spine, tap, go ahead, up, and reach. One more time, and if you've got it at little bit left in you, we're going to straighten those legs at the end. We're going to come into a V sit. So take those hands up, take those feet up, lean back, extend those legs. 4, 3, that's tough. 2, 1, and release. Hopefully you felt that core engagement. All right, so we've done some work twisting. We've done some butt work. We're going to get into a little bit more of the back work. So we are going to allow ourselves to come onto our mats. So just sweep yourself over until you get onto your bellies. And once you're on your bellies, just give a little shimmy side to side and place the feet on the floor. Your hands are in front and you can just let your head rest on your arms. You can turn out to the side if you need to see. And we're just going to be able to take our heels, flex them up to our bums, and then bring them back down. Okay, so just do that a couple times. Pull in, flex, and then bring it back down. One more time, flex, just to make sure the kneecaps are good, that you're in a good placement, and we're going to double up. Double, double, tap. Double, double, tap. So heel to bum, tap the toe, heel to bum, tap the toe. Let's do that 2 more times. And tap, and up, tap. All right, so if you are feeling that you are able to come up onto your forearms, it's going to be a little bit more difficult. So we're pulling our elbows underneath our shoulders. My hands are flat like Sphinx pose, or you can bring the knuckles to touch together. Okay, whatever feels more comfortable for you to keep your chest open. But now we've got a curvature of the spine. So we've got a back extension, and we're going to do the same thing. Just flex your heels and bring them to your bum, and then bring it back down. Okay, one more time. Just bring it in, and then bring it back down. If you're good to go, let's double the pulse. Pulse, pulse, tap. Pulse, pulse, tap. Pulse, pulse, tap. Pulse, pulse, tap. Now, I want you to squeeze your butt when you pull your heels in. Keep your chest lifted. If you need to bring it back down to the floor at any time, you can. So push, push, hands into the mat. Heel, heel, into the bum. 2 more. Pulse, pulse, down. Pulse, pulse, down. Now, some of you might be able to extend your hands out a little bit further and push yourself up. Okay, so if that is uncomfortable through the back, I need you to come back down. But if you're okay to have your elbows just slightly forward, so here's my elbow underneath my shoulder, bring your hands just slightly forward, and then press up so that you've got length in those arms. And if you're okay, we're going to try the double heel. So actually just start with the single, just lift and see what that feels like. Really squeeze your butt and then bring it back down. So squeeze into the butt and bring it back down. 2 more times. See how that feels, and you might want to just stay with these singles. If you're good to go, go ahead with the double. Double, double, tap. Double, double, tap. You should be really working your back, squeezing your butt, shoulders away from the ears. Tap, pulse, pulse, tap, pulse, pulse, tap. One more. Pulse, pulse, tap. Now, if you are down and your elbows are on the floor, when you go to lift up in the first one, and if you're down here, you're just going to stay with the double pulse. If you're here, elbows underneath your shoulders, you're going to allow yourself to do a pulse, pulse down, but we're going to do a lift with the one hand. Okay, so it'll be pulse, pulse, lift, pulse, pulse, lift, pulse, pulse, lift, pulse, pulse, lift. We're going to go to the other side, so elbows underneath. So just do a pulse, pulse, lift, pulse, pulse, lift, pulse, pulse, lift, pulse, pulse, lift. Now, for my friends who walked their hands out earlier and are able to get up here, it is going to be a double pulse with the hand lifting off. If you can't get to this height, don't worry, it's not required. But if you are in this one and you felt like you can, you're going to do a double, double, tap, lift. And then double, double, tap, lift. Right? Same thing except hand comes off as opposed to pushing up. All right, so let's give it a shot. Wherever you are, elbows down or up a little higher, pull the shoulders back, double, double, front, double, double, front. Double, double, front. Last one. Double, double, front to the back. Double, double, back. Double, double, back. 2 more. Backhand. Good, good. There we go. Let's lower ourselves all the way down. Walk your hands by your shoulders, tuck your toes, and slowly push your way back into child's pose. You're going to lengthen out that back. Lots of work back there. Lengthen out. Give a little shimmy of those hips if it feels right. All right, our last little bit will be to do some work and on our backs. So grab some water, take a little stretch if there's another stretch you enjoy, and I'll meet you on your back. So we're going to come onto our mats. We're having a little lie back. Make sure if you have a ponytail like me that is not interfering with the placement of your head flat on your mats. We don't want to have your head moving in different directions. You're going to take your hands beside you and you're going to pull the shoulders away from your ears. Now that we've got this, we're going to bring our knees to stack over our hips and we're bracing our core. So this is me not bracing my core. This is me pulling my ribs to my hips and imprinting my spine. From here, I'm going to be able to bring my knees in and just lift my tailbone up off of the floor by pressing my hands into the mat and then roll back down. Okay, so we're just going to exhale, curl up, and then lower back down. Exhale, curl up, lift your butt, and then lower back down. So this is a really difficult movement to lift your most of your body weight up through using your core crunch, a reverse crunch, right? By bringing the knees into the chest. So exhale, lift, and then lower back down. Two more times, lift and lower back down. One more lift and lower back down. Now, if you can bring your knees to me and bring your feet away from me, and then sweep your knees away from me and bring your feet. So it's just a slight swivel, and you're just using your core to change the direction of your feet and knees on the diagonal. Diagonal to the front with the knees, diagonal to the back with the knees. So hands and shoulders are relaxed, they're not doing anything, and we're just twisting side to side. Now that we've got this going on, I want you to come back to that neutral position. You're going to curl your knees in and lift your butt. We'll do that one more time. This is a straight one. And then we're going to bring our knees to the front and our feet to the back as we curl up. And then we're going to diagonally curl up the other way. So exhale, curl up, and then exhale, curl the other way. Two more times. Curl it up, and then curl it up. All right. If we've gotten that far and you want to extend those legs up into the air, we're going to flex at the heel. And it's almost as if you're holding up a plate or something on your feet. And we're able to do the same thing here by just kicking straight up into the air. Anytime you need a soft knee bend, it's there for you. Anytime you want to keep those knees completely bent, it's there for you. Let's go ahead and try and give this one a shot. So just kick straight up. You get a lot more height with the feet straight up into the air. So if it's okay for you to lift your butt up a little higher and come up a little higher on the shoulder blades, you can. We're exhaling, pushing up, coming back down, pushing up, and coming back down. Now, keep your butt on the floor and just turn your toes to me and your heels to the back. And then switch heels to the front and toes to the back. So I'm hoping that you can see it's actually coming from my core bracing. And then I'm using my hips to swivel one way and then using my hips to swivel the other way. Okay, so if you've got this movement down, then you can add on the lift as we do the turn side to side. If you're finding this is enough, just staying with the butt down and the legs elevated, stay with this twisting. This is still a lot of work for me. If you're good to go, come up straight, bring the heels to the front, toes to the back, and lift up, twist. Do it the other way. Lift up, twist. You don't have to be as high as me. You don't have to have straight knees. Lift and twist. Lift and twist. Two more. Lift and twist. Last one. Lift and twist. All right. Go ahead, bend your knees, place one foot down, followed by the other. Arms out to the side, drop knees to the front, look to the back. Take a deep breath here as you just stretch it out. And then switch to the other side. Now, if you've done this much and you feel like you can go into a little bit more, we can have one more option here. Now, for those of us who are kicking our feet up into the air, this is where you can go. I'm going to show you a kick up, and then if you would like to, you can just do it with your butt on the floor. Okay, so butt on the floor, this is what it's going to look like. A kick up is where you're going to bring your knees to stack. You're going to kick up. 1, 2, 3, and then you're going to catch your butt with your hands. And we're up. Okay? Now, if this is a little too much for you today, then you can just stay with kick ups. Or when we stay up, when we go and grab our butts, you come down and you just hold here. Because we will do a couple of leg movements, whether you have your feet in the air with your butt down or whether you have your butt in the air. So let's do 2 sets of 3 kick ups. Okay, so kick up 3 times. Let's go ahead, knees bent or straight. 3, 2, 1. You can stay down or catch your butt. Just find that position and then lower yourself down. We'll do that one more time. 3 kicks up, then you can hold your butt or stay down. So 3, 2, 1. Kick up and hold up, or your butt's down. Now, if you're with me, we are going to allow our knees to bend, the front knee to bend, and then you're going to bend the back knee and you're going to be in a bicycle. Okay, so point your toes. If you are not holding your butt and you are down on the ground, here's your version of it. You're going to bring your feet lower to the ground. That's going to activate your core. Okay, so hands are by your side and you're just doing great, big, huge circles. If you have your butt in your hands and you're up high, you're bringing your knees closer to your face and you're circling your feet almost above your head. Okay, so this is where the work comes for your core. If you have your butt in your hand and you're using some work in the spine. For those of us who are on the floor, I want you to work your abdominal muscles, the lower abs. Let's do 2 more big pedals. If you are already on the floor, stay there. If you have your feet and your legs are able to bend, knees come towards your forehead, you're going to release your bum and slowly roll out of it and relax. All right, let's do a little twist here, hands out. Drop your knees to the back and look to the front. And then sweep the other way. And then come back through the center. We're going to roll ourselves up again so we can bring our knees into our chest. You can hold onto your knees. If you are comfortable just having your hands at your side, go ahead and flex your heels, tuck your chin, and just start a rock forward and backwards. Okay? And we're going to make our way up to seated. One more should do it for me. And we're back to seated. All right. Center yourself on your mat. Legs are straight. Last exercise, I promise. Go ahead and walk yourself side to side a little bit. Sit up nice and tall. You're going to have your hands on your legs. Go ahead and walk yourself forward so that you've got a long spine. You're not rolling your shoulders. You might only get to your shins. If your feet are flexed, you might be able to get to those toes. And then we're just going to walk ourselves all the way back up to seated and lift our hands above our head. So exhale, inhale, walk. Exhale, inhale. One more time. Exhale, inhale, walk energy through those toes. See if you can get forward, then walk it back and lift it up. All right, if you can do that part of it, see if you can roll down through the spine. You're going to hold on to your legs, slowly walk yourself back down. Let those hands float above your head. This is where you might need to bend those knees again and use your hands or lift the hands up, tuck the chin. See if you can walk yourself up to that seated. So we've done this before. If you can roll down with the legs straight, it's control here. So just don't let yourself collapse. And then once you've gotten down, if you need to bend those knees and then grab onto those legs to help walk yourself back up again, you can. And then you can extend those legs out and then walk yourself forward. All right. So if you are able to do everything with the straight legs, you're following me, make those modifications as you go along. So we're sitting up nice and tall. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. Walk or lean forward. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. Reach or walk. Exhale, inhale, exhale, and inhale. One more time. Exhale, bend the knees and walk up or float up using that core. Hinge from the hips, lengthen through those hamstrings. Lifting up, roll back and down through each vertebrae, reaching the hands above your head. Last one, we're just curling up, using the core, stretching the hamstrings, leaning forward, coming all the way back up and release. All right, nice work, everybody. Go ahead and bend those knees, come into a seated posture. Let's go ahead and get some stretches. We are just going to allow our shoulders to roll back. We're going to take our chin to our chest, draw a half a U shape over to the right side, look up to where the ceiling meets the wall, coming down over to the other side, and look up, coming down through, around, looking up, down through, around, and look up. If you are able to go all the way around in a circle, you can join me now to where the ceiling meets the wall. Tip your head back, look up, come down on the left side, down through the center, and then we're going to go up on that left side. So to where the ceiling meets the wall, tip the head back, go down through the right side and around. One more time, up. You're either drawing U's or it's a full circle around, bringing it down. Last time, inhale and exhale down the other side. All right, let's inhale those hands all the way up. Bring the right hand forward. Bring the left one to cross underneath it, crossing at the elbows, backs of hands, or cross at the wrists and place the palms together. And we're just going to inhale, lift the elbows up to your eye gaze, and then exhale, round out the spine as you bring your elbows into your belly. And then we're going to inhale into a back bend. So arch the back, elbows high to the sky. And then exhale, float down. One more time. Inhale. And exhale, unwind completely. Rise those hands all the way up. This time it is the left hand that comes down. Right goes underneath it, and you're crossing at the elbows. Backs of the hands touch, or cross at the wrists and palms touch. From here, sitting up tall, elevating the elbows up to your eye gaze, and then rounding the shoulders and pulling the elbows into your belly button. Then we're going to come into back bend. So lifting those elbows as high as you can, arching the back. And we'll go 2 times. Exhale down into the belly button. Inhale up.
One more time, exhale down into the belly button. And inhale up. On your exhale, unwind. Bring those hands all the way to clasp. Reach up to the sky. Dive over to the right side. Look down at the right side of the mat. Inhale, neck neutral. And then over to the left and look down at the left side of the mat. Inhale up. One more time. Over and tipping. Keeping the left butt cheek on the mat as you dive to the right. And then same thing, vice versa, the other way. Come all the way up. Bring those hands down to your knees. We'll do a couple of seated cat-cows. We're holding onto our knees, rolling out the spine. Pull the elbows into your sides. Let the chest come forward. Dive in and look up to the sky. And then round out the back. Hold onto those knees, lengthen those arms, elbows bend, pull the chest right through, and look up. Last one. Go ahead and round out the spine, and then roll it all the way up. We're just going to take our hips over to the one side, over to the right. So you're just leaning over to the right side, and then switch it to the left. So you're leaning as much to the left as you can. So my left elbow is bent. And then we're going to switch. Right elbow is bent, left is long, and then switch to the other side. One more time, side to side, and then we're just going to put it all together into a big circle. So we're just releasing these hips, the back, the shoulders. So we did the seated cat-cows. So we're going to come back in. You're going to go into a cat. Bring it over to the right. Pull the elbows in, lift the chest over to the left and into your cat. Let's go over to the left side. Left with right arm straight. Elbows in at your ribs, look up. Go over to the other side and round it out. We'll do that 2 more times. Circle, front, look up, side, tuck the chin in, look at your navel, and then go over to the side, chin through, look up, over, and back, and then sit up nice and tall. Give a little shimmy. Take a deep breath in. Let it go. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale. One more time. Big inhale. And let it go. I hope you had a wonderful workout, some amazing work, twisting, using the core, stabilizing, using it standing, using it seated, using it squat, using it lying on your back. We did everything we could possibly do in this class. So I hope that you had a great workout, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one.